Over the years, Lumin has grown to be one of the most powerful companies on the planet, and has developed a cult-like following within its higher members, and the Eagan bloodline is almost worshipped. There is a vast amount of devious things that they are up to. Many things from mind control, severance, cloning, and all other aspects of an evil corporation that you could think of. At the heart of all of Lumin's plans are the secretive Innie workforce. The main project of this, in which Mark is key to, is something called Cold Harbor. The only reference in history to something called Cold Harbor was a Civil War battle that took place 1 year before the founding of Lumin. This could be a connection from the founder Kier Egan to this specific project. Cold Harbor could also be a reference to Mark's dead wife. It is possible that she died in a car crash in a literal cold harbor, and that this project directly references her. But we'll just have to wait and see what gets confirmed with this. We know the numbers are sorted and refined by different emotions of the Innies, but where do they come from and what are they being refined into? It's written all over Lumin that the founder Kier Egan wanted to be immortalized. There are symbols of him and his family line all over Lumin, and he created a system that would forever follow his guidance even after death. Before Egan died, around the year 1940, he mastered his understanding of the four tempers, which are woe, frolic, dread, and malice. According to Kier Egan, how these tempers balanced out in a person was essentially a glimpse into their soul, and defined who they were as a person. He also believed that it was only through the 9 Lumin principles that someone could overcome the 4 tempers and become a balanced person. It is also around this time that he wrote the 4 appendices, which are essentially a guidebook for the Lumin company, as well as a collection of stories and philosophies from Kier Egan. One of the stories told is about his brother that gave into his physical passions and ultimately died because of it. It would seem that Kier Egan had a disdain for people that couldn't control all of their physical passions. No wonder his legacy has left a world that is stale and devoid of passion, but is instead full of just rules and order. But I believe he had intentions to preserve much more of himself than just his legacy. Kier Egan died around the year 1940, and given the history of Lumin, to preserve everything about his life, I do think it's very possible that an embalmed or frozen Egan body is stored somewhere in Lumin. In recent history, Lumin has developed advanced technology, such as being able to read the brain scans of people and create entire new digital identities that they do implant into people during the severance process. As the technology to read the brain and create brainwaves became advanced enough, they could take these same scanners and read the dead brains of the former Egan members. All of that data from the brain scans would be put into a computer. Because the brain cannot be preserved perfectly, the scan of the brain would not be complete data and would probably have missing holes in it or be jumbled. And this is where MDR comes into play. An emotion-led data refinement process is used to try and sort through all of this brain data. Because the 4 tempers are a look into a person's soul, you could potentially use them to create an emotional profile of the person. When MDR is refining data, I do believe it is something along the lines of this. Either they are creating emotional profiles of dead Egans to help the resurrection process, or at least use it as one piece of the puzzle in resurrecting someone. But either way, the correct balance of the 4 tempers can recreate the personality of an individual. This will be used to help resurrect the dead Egans. And Project Cold Harbor might be a test project to be the first time that someone is fully resurrected from the dead. It's possible that it might actually be Mark's dead wife that is the first one to come back to life. This is why they need Mark, because he has a unique talent to sort through the numbers better than anyone has ever done before. And perhaps only Innies can sort through this type of a data because they themselves were created as a digital brain to begin with, so it might be programmed into their subconscious to be able to sort through and build out other digital minds. This is also why Helly's Audi referred to her innie as not actually being a person in Season 1, because she knows that the innies are completely digitally created and then implanted into the minds of the severed people. This is just one more reason why Lumin can justify using them as slave labor, because they're technically not actually people. These digital Eagans are probably the board members themselves, and that is why we never actually see them. At some point, the digital minds of the Eagans will be put into bodies. This could be bodies cloned from their DNA, or they could just completely body snatch someone. No doubt Lumin will also allow current people living to gain immortality. At the point of death, they can either be transferred to a digital afterlife or take over the body of another person. In the long run, Lumin will have an elite group of people that are immortal and can skip from body to body as they please. They will also have a slave class of any workers that can be disposed of at any time. 3D printed bodies will probably play a crucial role in all of this. When Miss Cobel is leaving town to get away from Lumin, she chooses to go back when she is reminded of her husband's death. It would make sense that she is working her way up the company with the ultimate goal of bringing her husband back to life. In Season 1, she had a strange interest in both versions of Mark. She even stole a candle from Mark's Audi's dead wife and had it present while Mark and his dead wife's innies were both meeting together. Almost like she wanted to see if they could remember each other. Perhaps bringing people back from the dead isn't a simple process, and they are either changed or don't have their complete memory. She might be concerned that her husband won't actually be her husband if he is brought back to life. This only adds to the creepiness of the show, as if when the people are resurrected, a part of their soul is missing. Everything strange going on at Lumin, from the 3D printed clones, MDR, Severance, or anything else, is all going towards the ultimate goal of resurrecting the dead Eagan line. Either way, we will have to wait and see exactly how much of that actually comes out to be true. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.